When I was just 5, my grandmother settled things with my birth parents, giving them $300 so she could raise me. More than 20 years down the line, they found out I'd spent $3 million fixing up her old place into a beautiful large house. That news really made them upset. Before I was born, when my birth mother was expecting me, the local village healer confidently told her she was having a boy. My grandma was so happy she gave the healer a $10 gift in a red envelope. She made sure my birth mother got the best food and rest, which wasn't common then. Other families saved good food like eggs for the men or growing children. But my birth mother ate an egg every single day. The other women in the village wished they had a mother in law like her. But the second I was born, a baby girl, my grandma saw me in the blanket and her expression changed completely. She immediately stopped the special food from my birth mother. She even went back to the healer and demanded her $10 back. When my birth parents brought me home, neighbors gathered, whispering. My birth mom cried as soon as they arrived. My birth dad just sat outside, smoking one cigarette after another, looking down. Grandma came in looking stern and said coldly, "Crying? What right do you have? So useless you can't even have a son. It must be my terrible luck that my son married you, bringing bad fortune." My birth dad was unhappy. "If this one isn't a boy, we'll just try again. We have to have a boy. What else can I do? I promise, Mom, I'll give you a grandson." Grandma replied, "If you don't, I have no problem with my son divorcing you and finding someone who can." Back in the 1990s, family size rules were very strict, making my birth parents feel cornered. As soon as my birth mom recovered from having me, they started trying for a boy. They would hide away somewhere far off each time she got pregnant. This went on for 5 years. After 5 years, my little brother was born. My birth mom carried him home, smiling widely, and walked proudly through the village. During that time, I survived on watery rice gruel, often not getting enough. For them, having a son was everything. To my grandma, I was just an expense she felt could have been avoided if I hadn't been born. Getting hit or slapped wasn't rare. Grandma was often in a bad mood and yelled loudly. My main concern was finding my next bit of food. When I turned 5, it was time for school. But my birth parents had used almost all their money trying to have a son. They refused to pay for me to learn. After talking it over, they planned to marry me off young. This way, they wouldn't have to feed me and would get $300 for the arrangement. My grandma heard about their plan. She yelled at my birth mom, "A lovely little girl, and you're sending her off to be treated badly? Did I raise you to act like this?" My birth mom argued it was their family's decision. Then she pleaded, holding my baby brother. "Mom, we spent everything trying for a boy, and they promised they'll be good to Lily. Don't worry." "If you won't raise Lily, I will," Grandma declared, putting the money on the table and taking me with her. As we left, my birth mom shouted, "You said it, Mom. She's not our child anymore." Later, I understood Grandma knew they were broke from trying for a son. She had secretly sold her own silver bracelets to get the money for me. To get to Grandma's house, we had to cross a little river. She offered to carry me, but I wanted to walk, holding her rough hand tightly. I felt safer than ever before. When we arrived, my aunt, let's call her Carol, looked unhappy to see us. Grandma nudged me. "This is your Aunt Carol. Say hello." "Hi, Auntie," I said brightly. Aunt Carol frowned, touching her pregnant belly. "Not so loud. What if you wake my baby?" Grandma retorted sharply. "If a little noise scares him, he's not fit to be my grandson." Not caring about Aunt Carol's shocked face, Grandma led me inside. Soon there was arguing outside. I tried to look, but Grandma stopped me. "Pay no attention. She's just like that. This isn't her house to rule. You're safe here." "Now, dear, what's your name?" At my old home, they barely called me by a pet name, usually just money waster. Grandma scoffed. "Shameful. A big girl without a proper name. From now on, you are Lily. Do you like that?" I smiled shyly and whispered, "Yes." Then I ran to hug Grandma. "Thank you, Grandma. I love the name Lily." "That's good," she said, patting my head gently. I breathed in the clean, soapy smell from her clothes. It felt like a wonderful dream. That night, my uncle, let's call him Ben, came home from his job. When he heard what happened, he seemed unsure. Grandma hadn't asked them first, but he figured his factory salary could handle one more child. It wasn't a huge financial strain, so he agreed. Aunt Carol's face fell when Uncle Ben said yes. She pulled him into their room. Even through the wall, her angry voice was clear. Are you crazy? Raising a kid isn't like getting a puppy. You need to feed her, buy clothes, pay for school. Got too much money? Do you want us to go hungry? If you don't want her, just say so. I'll go end this pregnancy tomorrow. No use bringing kids into the world just to suffer. I didn't mean that, Uncle Ben replied. Grandma sat quietly, looking pale. I went to her and tugged her sleeve. Grandma, maybe you should send me back? If I send you back, she said firmly, patting my shoulder, your birth mother will just give you to that awful family as a child bride. Is that what you want? Don't worry about your aunt and uncle. Grandma won't send you away. Uncle Ben came out after Aunt Carol kicked him out of their room. He sighed. Mom, don't mind what Carol says. She's just... Grandma waved him off. I know why she's upset, but we can't let Lily be married off like that. Think of our family's name. Don't worry, if things get tight, I'll find extra work. I won't let this child be a problem for you two. Mom, that's not it, Uncle Ben said. Don't be angry, I'll talk to her more, Lily, he added gently, patting my head. Don't mind your Aunt Carol, that's just her way. Be helpful, do chores, try to fit in. Following Uncle Ben's advice, I started doing most of the cleaning and cooking. Grandma even went to town and bought a silver baby bracelet for Aunt Carol's expected son, hoping it would make her nicer to me. Aunt Carol was less angry after getting the gift. She still complained sometimes, but she stopped threatening to make me leave. At dinner, I would always watch Aunt Carol nervously, wondering if it was okay to take food. One day, she rolled her eyes. Why are you staring? Do I have food on my face? Just eat what you want. You think I'm going to bite you? Stop acting like I starve you while you do all the work. I quickly shook my head and ate my food. As I cleared the dishes, Aunt Carol seemed to soften a little. Lily, it's not that I'm mean. You know I'm pregnant and it's hard to move around. You need to help more in the house. You're helping Uncle Ben, Grandma, and your future little cousin, understand? Yes, Aunt Carol, I don't mind, I replied honestly. Even though she wasn't always kind, I had food, clothes, and schooling. That was enough. A few months later, Aunt Carol had a baby boy. Uncle Ben named him Mark. In those days, most village families farmed a small piece of land. Uncle Ben had taken over his father's job as a supervisor at a local factory, so they were doing okay financially. Because of this, my cousin Mark got baby formula after he stopped breastfeeding. Seeing me look longingly at the bottle, Grandma would sometimes secretly make me a cup when Aunt Carol wasn't around. It tasted faintly sweet and was wonderful. After Mark was born, besides chores, I helped look after him when Aunt Carol and Grandma were busy. Aunt Carol would sometimes joke, "He came from my body, but he seems to like you more, the little traitor." In 4th grade, I won first place in a school writing contest and got $10 as a prize. I ran home, excited to tell everyone. But when I got there, Aunt Carol was sitting with an angry look. Seeing me, she slammed her hand on the table. Where is the $10 I left on the table this morning? I shook my head. Aunt Carol, what money? I didn't see any. She jumped up, pointing at me. Don't pretend. Only we three were home. If you didn't take it, did it just walk away? Tears filled my eyes. I shook my head harder. Aunt Carol, I promise, I didn't take it. Oh, yeah? She sneered. I feed you for years, and this is how you thank me? Stealing. She grabbed my school bag, dumped everything out, and there, among my books, was a $10 bill. My stomach dropped. I knew I was in trouble. Aunt Carol snatched it up. Still saying no? What's this then? Stealing already? You'll never be any good. Don't I feed you? Don't I give you clothes? Aunt Carol, no. That's my prize money from the contest. But she was too angry to listen. She grabbed a broom and started hitting me. I didn't cry out, just took the hits. She hit harder, saying meaner things. Just because grandma likes you, you think you can do anything? Nobody wanted you. You're just a burden. When grandma's gone, you're out. I pushed her away. You're lying. I'm not a burden. Don't say bad things about grandma. Shocked that I fought back, she slapped my face hard. How dare you push me? Stealing so young, you're nothing but trouble. Get out now. I ran out of the house. Aunt Carol yelled after me. I give you food and a place to live, and this is the thanks I get. It makes me furious. I didn't know where to run. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. The first year Grandma took me in, I tried to sneak back to my birth parents' house. My birth mom was holding my baby brother, laughing. When she saw me, her smile vanished. What are you doing here? I told you, you're not ours anymore. Don't come back, understand? Seeing my tear-stained face, she sighed. Go back to Grandma. Now I found myself lying near the railroad tracks. I daydreamed about having parents who loved me, who would hug me when I felt sad and laugh with me like parents in storybooks. Then, a train whistle blew in the distance, bringing me back to reality. Maybe this was the end. It would all be over. I hoped my next life would bring loving parents. I closed my eyes slowly, but suddenly someone pulled me up sharply. It was Uncle Ben. He dragged me away from the tracks, looking very upset. His face was serious. He didn't speak as he carried me home over his shoulder. As we got close to the house, I heard Grandma shouting angrily, I was gone visiting relatives for just a few days and you threw Lily out? What were you thinking? Aunt Carol yelled back, feeling wronged. Do you know what she did? You can't just kick Lily out. She's your niece, Grandma argued. Just then, Uncle Ben reached the door carrying me. He looked at Aunt Carol with obvious disappointment. Seeing that neither Grandma nor Uncle Ben supported her, Aunt Carol got more upset. Oh, so you're both taking her side against me now? Fine, I want her gone. She steals and she fights back. Keeping her here is asking for trouble. Grandma, I whispered, my voice scratchy, I really didn't steal it. Didn't you? The money was found in your bag. Still denying it? Aunt Carol shouted, pointing at me. At that moment, little Mark wandered out, attracted by the noise. He handed me a crumpled piece of paper. I unfolded it. Inside was another $10 bill. Suddenly, everyone understood. Aunt Carol's face changed when she saw the money in my hand. Grandma said coldly, So, Carol, this is what you call Lily stealing? Blaming her with no proof. You should be ashamed acting like that. Even if she didn't steal, she hit me. I was just trying to teach her a lesson. Carol defended herself. Carol, think about how much work Lily does for you. How many times have you yelled at her? If she's pushed too far, how do you expect her to react? Don't think having a son makes you the boss here. Lily is just as important to me. If anything bad happens to her, you'll be sorry. Grandma took Mark's hand and went inside. Later, when Grandma found out I had thought about ending my life, she pulled me aside and scolded me severely. Taking your own life is the most foolish thing anyone can do. If you ever think about that again, I'll break your legs, she yelled, full of anger and worry. I nodded quickly, promising I wouldn't. On the way back inside, Uncle Ben told me, Lily, life can be very hard sometimes, but no matter what, you have to be strong and face it. You can't run away from problems. Promise me you'll be tough, Lily. I promise, I said. That evening, Aunt Carol came to my room with a cup of warm milk. Uncle Ben had told her how I reacted. Looking uncomfortable, she apologized for accusing me and hitting me. She promised not to blame me unfairly or yell at me constantly anymore. I sat with my head down, still feeling hurt and quiet. Grandma spoke up. Lily, did you hear your aunt? I nodded. This is your home. No matter what, you can't just run off. If you do it again, Grandma really will break your legs, got it? Yes, Grandma, I'll listen. Auntie, I'm sorry I pushed you, I mumbled. Aunt Carol managed a small smile. No, Auntie isn't mad. Don't worry about my words. I often say things without thinking. Don't take it so hard, okay? Aunt Carol did try to keep her promise. She didn't yell at me for no reason, although she still scolded me loudly if I made a mistake. But I wasn't scared of being kicked out anymore. especially after seeing she was even stricter with Mark when he misbehaved. When I was in my third year of middle school, big changes happened. Uncle Ben's factory wasn't doing well, and many workers were being laid off. Uncle Ben came home stressed every night, knowing his job was at risk. Aunt Carol was very tense during this time and would snap at Mark and me over small things. Soon, Uncle Ben got the news. He was laid off. When Aunt Carol heard, she practically collapsed. How will we live now? 5 mouths to feed, clothes to buy, 2 kids needing school. Where will the money come from? Uncle Ben smoked silently. Grandma went quietly to the kitchen to cook. The yard filled with Aunt Carol's crying about their struggles. At dinner, only Mark seemed unaware of the tension, eating happily. Grandma saw the sad mood and put a fried egg in my bowl. Eat up, then help Mark with his schoolwork. The egg looked good, but I wasn't hungry. Aunt Carol scoffed. Yes, eat well. Who knows when we'll have a proper meal again? Grandma glared at her. Stop saying such things in front of the children. Am I wrong? Mom, your son lost his job. Do I need to spell it out? How will we survive? Just farming this tiny bit of land for 5 people? Is that realistic? Aunt Carol stood up, almost shouting. And besides living costs, the kids need school, don't they? Mark had just started elementary and Lily has exams soon. Everything costs money. Enough! Don't fight in front of the kids, Uncle Ben said. I'll figure something out with money. Let's just eat. Aunt Carol pulled away from him, her face red. Ask yourself, since we married, have I ever let you down? I wash, cook, had kids, take care of everyone, even your niece. Is it easy? You promised me a good life. Look at us now. She started crying. Uncle Ben went to comfort her. Mark and I sat silently, wishing we could vanish. Grandma watched, then went quietly into her room. She came back with a small wooden box. Son, she said, take this, pawn it for some cash, and take this money too. Uncle Ben and Aunt Carol looked at the box, surprised. Mom, he started. Just take it, Grandma interrupted. It's my fault I can't help more. Inside were old silver items from Grandma's own mother, things she treasured. Uncle Ben felt bad but took them. Life became very simple. We saved every penny. Meat dishes disappeared, replaced by vegetables. But Mark and I still each got 1 egg a day. I told Aunt Carol I was old enough to skip the egg to save money. She glared. Eat it when you're given it. We're not so poor we can't afford eggs. Do you want your uncle and grandma to hear I'm not feeding you properly? Do you want them to yell at me, trying to cause trouble? Okay, Aunt Carol could be harsh, but she had a kind heart underneath. Soon it was time for high school entrance exams. I did very well and got into the best high school in the county. Uncle Ben was thrilled. He went to town and bought meat for ribs and a small cake to celebrate. Aunt Carol saw the cake and scolded him. I said ribs, not cake. Are you looking for trouble? It's just a little cake, Uncle Ben defended himself. I'm happy Lily got into high school and it wasn't costly. I kept looking at the cake during the dinner. Aunt Carol snapped, staring won't bring it here. Eat dinner, then cake. The cake was small, just a tiny piece each, and the frosting too sweet, but it was the best cake I'd ever tasted. A few days later, while working in the fields, Grandma, Aunt Carol, and I saw my birth mom approaching. She forced a smile. Lily, wow, you're so grown up. Grandma interrupted coldly. Just say why you're here. Don't bother Lily. She's tired from working. My birth mom seemed nervous. Ma, I heard Big Brother lost his job. I came to see how you are. Things must be hard? I stayed silent. Aunt Carol looked annoyed. I think you're just here to make us feel worse. What? No, I came to give advice. Lily finished middle school. She could work now. Peter from our village is taking people to a factory job, making maybe $1,000 a month. If I started earning money, Aunt Carol's eyes showed interest, but Grandma firmly refused. She's not working. Lily is going to college. I won't let her stop school. My birth mom tried to convince her. Ma, really? College? It costs so much. With Big Brother jobless, how can you pay? I'm trying to help. Sis-in-law, you've raised her all this time. Lily should help pay you back now, right, sis? She leaned towards Aunt Carol. Sis, if Lily works with Peter, there's a $500 payment for finding her. Peter seems nice too. If they hit it off, it could be good. Think about it. Seeing Aunt Carol tempted, even on a hot day, I felt a shiver. Grandma suddenly slapped my birth mom hard across the face. You're planning this for your own daughter? You have no heart. You'll pay for this one day. My birth mom held her cheek, shocked. Ma, you hit me. For that girl? Yes, I did. Trying to trick Lily? I ought to break your legs. Aunt Carol rushed to hold Grandma back. It became chaotic. When Uncle Ben got home, he walked into the mess. After hearing the story, he was furious. He slammed his fist on the table. You'd ruin your own daughter's future for a few $100s? Have you learned nothing in all these years? Let me be clear. We paid $300 for Lily. Her official papers are with us now. You have no right to interfere. My birth mom shouted back, She's still my daughter. Grandma scoffed. Not raising her makes you worse than an animal. Being scolded by her own mother left my birth mom looking furious and ashamed. Uncle Ben waved her away. You should go, and don't visit so often. As long as Lily wants to study, I'll support her, even if I have to sell everything. We don't need your kind of help. Realizing Uncle Ben was done talking and Aunt Carol wasn't looking at her, my birth mom left awkwardly. I saw Aunt Carol's face was still very stern. She muttered, Saying we'll do anything to send a niece to school? Are you crazy? Uncle Ben firmly told her off. Lily is smart and works hard. Who are you to decide her future? I didn't get much education, so I couldn't give you a better life. Now Lily has a chance. As her family, shouldn't we support her? Do you know the cost of high school and college? Where will the money come from? Even if your mother left you 10 more jewelry boxes, it wouldn't be enough. Uncle Ben then pulled out a thick wad of new $100 bills and pushed them into Aunt Carol's hand. He turned to me, smiling. Lily, go to school. Don't worry. I can pay for it. Aunt Carol stared at the $1,000, shocked. Where did you get this much money? Don't worry, Uncle Ben said. It's honestly earned. After she kept asking, we learned Uncle Ben had been looking for work. He saw a robbery happening, chased the thief, and got the stolen things back. The owner was so grateful he offered a big reward. Uncle Ben refused but asked if the owner knew of any job openings. The owner, seeing he was strong and honest, hired him immediately. Uncle Ben had accidentally found a good job. The pay was good, but it meant traveling a lot. Aunt Carol counted the money, crying despite herself. I don't care. As long as you earn money, you can be gone 3 years, 5 years. She went inside, sobbing quietly. Grandma patted Uncle Ben's back. Don't listen to her. Her bark is worse than her bite. If you're really gone that long, she'll miss you the most. Then he followed Aunt Carol inside. Tears filled my eyes. I looked at Grandma. Grandma, I can really go to school now? Grandma stroked my hair. Yes, Lily can keep studying. Be good. Study hard in high school. Get into a great college. Make your uncle and aunt proud. Show those narrow-minded people. In high school, if Aunt Carol saw me doing chores, she'd tell me to stop. Use that time to study more. Every point on the college exam counts. Your uncle spent so much money. You better get into college and not waste it. Even though she sounded tough, I knew she cared. The villagers gossiped, saying Aunt Carol and Uncle Ben were foolish, spending so much on a niece while maybe neglecting their son, Mark. When Aunt Carol heard this, she told them off sharply, so they only whispered behind her back after that. 3 years of high school flew by. I studied constantly. Grandma worried as I got thinner and always cooked special meals for me during breaks, but I was too stressed for it to help much. Mark, however, gained weight. Aunt Carol teased him, You're just benefiting because of your sister. Otherwise, you wouldn't get such nice food. Mark grinned. Mom, you know what you are? What? Admit it, Mom. You're jealous of me. Oh, you cheeky kid, mocking me? Want a spanking? Mark ran outside laughing. I tried not to laugh but couldn't help it. Aunt Carol glared. Go study. Don't sit there giggling. Okay, I'll stop. Waiting for the college entrance exam results was stressful. Aunt Carol kept worrying aloud if I'd passed. Grandma told her, stop that negative talk. You're stressing Lily out. But Aunt Carol couldn't help worrying, just like me. Uncle Ben came home specially on the day the results were released. We all gathered around the phone as I called to check my score. Those few seconds felt like forever. After I hung up, the room was silent. Mark whispered, Sis, did I hear right? 658 points? Uncle Ben's voice shook. Lily, call again. Just make sure. I nodded and checked again. It was true. 658. Grandma hugged me tightly, smiling with relief. Aunt Carol's eyes got red, but she looked proud. You didn't let us down. Within an hour, everyone in the village knew my score. 658 meant I could get into almost any top university in the country. Aunt Carol was ecstatic, ignoring the jealous looks from others. A few days later, my birth mom called. She said she was happy I got into college and wanted me to visit so she could make things up to me. Reluctantly, I went. I didn't realize it was a trap. As soon as I got there, she took me into a room. A middle-aged man was sitting on the bed, looking me up and down in a way that made me uncomfortable. I tried to leave, but my birth mom locked the door. Lily, this is someone I found for you. He's older, yes, but he's kind. Trust me, I checked. He has his own business, he's well off. Marry him, you'll have a good life. Panicked, I banged on the door. Mom, let me out. I don't want to get married. Open the door. She ignored me. Just get to know him. We'll leave you alone. Her footsteps faded away. I felt hopeless. The man came closer, smiling unpleasantly. I felt completely trapped. Sis, don't worry. I'll get you out. It was Mark's voice. I heard him hit the lock hard 3 times, and it broke open. He rushed in, holding a hammer, and charged at the man. The man was so terrified he wet his pants. Mark gently helped me up. Sis, are you okay? Let's go home. I was too scared to speak, just numbly followed Mark out. My birth mom's family, shocked by Mark's actions, didn't dare stop us. On the way home, Mark held my hand tightly. Good thing I followed you. Who knows what those awful people would have done? When Mark told Grandma and Aunt Carol what happened, Grandma almost fainted from anger. Aunt Carol started cursing immediately. Are they even human? Treating their own daughter like that? Aren't they afraid of bad karma? We should cut off all contact with them. She paced the yard, then grabbed a sharp farming tool. No, I can't just let this go. Uncle Ben, looking grim, picked up a hoe. They bullied the child I care for so much, I need an explanation. Even Mark, though just back, clearly wanted to join in. Later, Mark excitedly told Grandma and me about the incredible scene. Aunt Carol grabbed my birth mom's hair and pulled out a handful. Uncle Ben, furious, hit my birth dad so hard he was apparently looking for his teeth on the ground afterwards and stayed in bed for a month. Mark dealt with my biological brother. Grandma confronted my other grandmother, who had never been kind to me. They broke things in my birth parents' house until the village leader came to stop them. After that, my birth parents' family never dared to bother me again. I chose a university in a city far away. Aunt Carol grumbled about the distance and not being able to see me easily. Uncle Ben disagreed. Stop trying to control the kids' lives. Let her choose her path. We just support her. Oh, you know everything, don't you? Aunt Carol retorted, and they started bickering playfully. As the start of term neared, watching them argue made me sad to leave. On the day they took me to the train station, Aunt Carol gave me advice non-stop. Only when the train was about to leave did Grandma make her stop. I don't know how you have so much to say, Grandma teased. Lily, call us when you arrive safely. If you need anything, call. Don't try to handle everything alone, okay? Grandma reminded me. I know, Grandma. Take care. I'll visit on holidays. Watching their figures get smaller, backlit by the sun, they seemed to shine. I knew I wasn't alone. I had Grandma, Uncle Ben, Aunt Carol, and the playful Mark. Who would have guessed that Mark, often seen as a bit of a troublemaker, would get into the National Defense University? This made Aunt Carol walk through the village beaming with pride. On the day Mark had a big party to celebrate getting into university, Uncle Ben and Aunt Carol hosted over 100 tables for guests. Everyone complimented the family's success. They raised a niece, Lily, who, in her early 20s, managed hundreds of people at work. And because Grandma didn't want to move to the city, Lily spent $3 million turning the old family house into a beautiful villa. Now Mark was also successful getting into such a prestigious university. They were truly proud parents. My birth dad sat at a table looking awkward and grumpy, drinking heavily. My birth mom had a forced smile. When she saw me, her face lit up. She hurried over to take my hand, but I pulled away. She looked embarrassed, rubbing her hands together. Lily, I heard fixing Grandma's house cost $3 million. I knew you'd do well. I'm so happy for you. You know, back then, giving you to Grandma, we had no choice. Feeding your brother was hard enough. When things got better, I wanted you back, but didn't want to disturb your studies. You're my daughter, my own flesh and blood. Now, your brother is grown, but needs help getting started. Could you help him buy an apartment in the city so he can get married? Doesn't need to be big, maybe 80 square meters? Listening to her shameless request made me angry. How could anyone be so bold? I have a name, it's Lily, and I have no connection to you. Did you forget Grandma paid $300 to take me? Yes, I remember. But things were different then. And you're still our daughter. She reached for me again, but Mark stepped between us. She's my sister. We are her family. Silly boy, what do you mean family? Raising you is one thing, giving birth is another. If I hadn't had your sister, how could she be successful now? Mark clenched his fists. I quickly stopped him. Please don't talk to me about family ties. Selling me meant you stopped being my parents. That blood connection only brought me pain. Why should I care about it? Aunt Carol overheard part of the conversation. She immediately stood in front of me, glaring at my birth mom. Have you no shame? When Lily was 5, you saw her as a burden, ready to sell her for $300 to be a child bride. If Mom hadn't saved her, would Lily be where she is today? Then you pretended to be helpful, trying to get her to quit school and work so you could get a $500 finder's fee. When she got into college, you tricked her into coming home to marry some old man for money. And now you dare ask Lily for a wedding house? Do you think she's stupid? Or am I stupid? Let me tell you, Lily owes you nothing. If you keep bothering our family, you'll regret it. My eyes filled with tears seeing Aunt Carol and Mark protecting me. Just then, my birth dad slammed down a glass. No matter what, she's my kid. I brought her into this world. She has to obey me. Trying to act tough in my house? Uncle Ben scolded him sternly, holding back Mark, who looked ready to fight. Think you're important? My birth dad looked up at Uncle Ben, who was tall and strong, and immediately quieted down. My grandma stepped forward, giving my birth mom, who looked like she was about to start a dramatic scene, a freezing stare. My birth mom stopped mid-motion. If you continue this, I will officially cut ties with you as my daughter. Don't come back here. Mom, no, listen. But Grandma turned her back. Uncle Ben nodded. If you bother Lily again, don't expect to hear from us. My birth mom stood there, stunned, looking at me for help. Lily, whatever happened, I'm still your mom. I took out $3,000 and threw it on the ground. I calculated. From when you were pregnant with me until I was 5, based on living costs back then, this should be more than enough. From now on, leave me and my family alone. My birth mom started to speak, but Mark grinned, picked up the money and said, Mom and Dad wouldn't want money wasted. If I found it, it's mine now. After that, my birth parents and their family couldn't handle the disapproving looks from everyone else and quickly left the party. Aunt Carol playfully poked my head. Why give them money? Got too much? You know what they're like. I know, I said. Of course I know. Don't worry, they won't dare come back. And I won't give them anything else. Whatever I earn is for you all. Aunt Carol tried to look serious but couldn't hide her smile. I don't need much. You should spend it on yourself so people don't say I treat you badly. Uncle Ben's career had gone well. His boss valued him. In my second year of working, he became a manager, so he didn't have to travel so much. Aunt Carol learned smartphones and video called me daily, gossiping about neighbors. Sis, when are you bringing your boyfriend home? Mom's been talking about it. She even secretly went to town to get her eyebrows done. Mark's voice interrupted over the phone. Kids, stop making things up. Aunt Carol scolded Mark, then smiled at me. Lily, when are you two coming back? Your grandma and uncle really want to see you. Smiling, I replied, Aunt Carol, we booked tickets for the day after tomorrow. We should be home by evening. Hearing this, Uncle Ben leaned closer to the phone. Lily, don't be cheap. Flying takes hours. Buy business class tickets so you won't be tired. Aunt Carol nodded. Yes, don't worry about the cost. Come back, your uncle will pay for it. Hey, why does Sis get business class and I have to sit in economy? Am I not your favorite anymore? Mark complained. You're a grown man. A little discomfort won't hurt. Stop whining and go cook dinner. Uncle Ben snapped. See? Lily's the real child. I'm just adopted, Mark joked, pretending to be sad. But Uncle Ben and Aunt Carol ignored him, focused on talking to me. Ending the call, my boyfriend, Mike Evans, saw my happy face. Why so cheerful? Win the lottery? I playfully nudged him. Nope. Going home soon, that's why. Mike wrapped his arms around me. Meeting the family, huh? I'm a little nervous. I punched his arm lightly. Who said anything like that? He just hummed and held me tighter. I hugged him back. Sometimes people in situations start off wrong, but they can find the right path eventually. When that happens, nothing can stand in the way.